on this sunny Monday morning. We left off with talking about Eleanor Roosevelt and the UN Declaration of Human Rights. As a special treat for you today, thanks to the magic of time travel, Eleanor Roosevelt will be coming to visit our classroom to answer some of your questions. She can answer any questions you have. As you remember, hopefully, Eleanor Roosevelt was born on October 11, 1884, and was married to former President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. While he was president, she was very politically involved, especially with the rights of women and discrimination towards minorities. Sally, you have a question?
I remember you said that after Franklin Delano Roosevelt died on April 12, 1945, Eleanor was appointed by President Harry S. Truman to be a delegate to the United Nations. Why was the United Nations established and when?
Well, hello everyone. I am Eleanor Roosevelt. I am so glad to be able to come to your classroom today to answer some of your questions. While I was walking in, I heard Sally ask, why was the UN established and when? I actually have a picture here with me. In February of 1945 at the Yalta Conference, my husband, President Roosevelt, Prime Minister Winston Churchill, and Premier Joseph Stalin determined the need for an international peacekeeping organization. On October 24, 1945, the UN Charter was written, after World War II with 51 countries. As described in the preamble of the Charter, the UN was created to save succeeding generations from the horrors of war, reaffirm faith in fundamental human rights, and promote social progress and better standards of life and a larger freedom. President Truman asked me to be a delegate to the UN. I had to consider this for a very long time, because I was not political, and I was not even a scholar. I accepted the offer, though. I then had a burden with accepting, because I was the only woman on the U.S. delegation. I knew as the only woman I'd better be better than anybody else. I knew that if I had in any way failed, it would not just be my failure. It'd be the failure of all women, and there would never be another woman on the delegation. I feel like I succeeded. I was unanimously elected chair of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights Drafting Committee of the Human Rights Commission. The members are from China, Australia, Chile, the US, Canada, United Kingdom, France, Lebanon, and the USSR. As you may or may not know, the USSR, or Soviet Union, no longer exists. It is now separate countries such as Russia, Ukraine, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and so on. Some of the countries have become member states of the UN of their own. Yes, young man. What is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights? The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, or UDHR, is an international bill of rights written for human rights. Everyone was starting to forget about human rights, and that was becoming an issue. And the Charter of the UN didn't have many rights in it. So we created the Declaration. It has a preamble in 30 articles, with economic, social, civil, political, and cultural rights. And it isn't a legally binding document either, so two covenants were created to enforce it. We spent a lot of time at the meetings, working on the Declaration. We argued at times, such as whether it was more important to adopt a legal document with a strong enforcement, or an international bill of rights that would be a document, like the Charter of the UN, for human rights. On December 9th into December 10th, 1948, is when we finished the final drafting. Committee 3, who was helping us with the final drafting, called us for a late night session. We stayed working until 3 a.m. on December 10th. That day we showed it to the General Assembly, and it was approved. December 10th is now known as Human Rights Day. Yes, young lady. What rights are in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights? There are many rights in the many articles of the Declaration. I actually have a copy of the Declaration here with me. This is what it looks like. Some examples of rights are Article 1, which says all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. They are endowed with reason and conscience and shall act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Article 3 says everyone has the right to life, liberty, and the security of person. Article 5 says no one shall be subjected to torture or cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Article 17 says everyone has the right to own property alone as well as in association with others. And Article 28 says everyone is entitled to a social and international order in which the rights and freedoms set forth in this declaration can be fully realized. Does anyone else have any questions? No? Well, it is getting late anyway, so I must go. I had lots of fun answering your questions, and it's so amazing to see that even generations after the Declaration was written, people still care about it. Well, thank you, Ms. Schrenkel, for having me today, and enjoy the rest of your day, children. Goodbye. We learned a lot from Eleanor Roosevelt today. She did so much with the UN. That's definitely one of her biggest legacies, being the chair of the drafting committee, and all the work she did with the UN. It is so hard to work with so many different countries from different political and cultural backgrounds, and she made them work many long, hard hours to get this extensive document. She often argued with the Russian delegate about the wording. The Declaration is an inspiration to everyone, whether in addressing injustices, in times of conflict, in society suffering repression, no matter what the case, no matter our nationality, home, gender, origin, color, religion, language, or any other status. On December 10th, 1948, the UN made a commitment to creating justice for all of us. The bell is about to ring, so is there anything else you want to talk about? Okay then, class is over. I'll see you tomorrow.